A very good evening, one and all. Welcome to the Buddhist Mahavira public page here in Facebook. On Facebook, this evening we have a very popular and a very busy monk from Sri Lanka. He's actually a monk who's very difficult to catch, and he's actually a radio and TV personality back in Sri Lanka. But we are very lucky and fortunate today to have him here on this Dhamma sharing with us on a Sunday evening at the Buddhist Mahavira's Facebook page. And we are actually very privileged and gracious that he has accepted our invitation. I would now like to invite Bhante Professor Dr. Abhayatissa, M. Abhayatissa, to join us on the show. Good evening, Bhante.
Good evening.
Okay, one and all, this is Bhante Abhayatissa, who will be sharing with us his Dhamma knowledge on the title The Middle Way. But before we go into the Dhamma sharing, let me just quickly read Bhante's profile. Bhante is a Sri Lankan monk who was ordained in Sri Lanka. He actually obtained his BA in Honours in Pali from the University of Kelaniya in 2003. Then he obtained his Masters also from the University of Kelaniya in 2004. The Master of Philosophy from the University of Kelaniya in 2007. And his PhD in Buddhist Studies from the University of Delhi in 2010. He is currently the professor in Pali at the Sri Jayawardhanapura University from 2015 up to today. And he, as I mentioned earlier, is actually a very proficient and very popular monk among the media personalities in Sri Lanka. He gives a lot of radio shows and TV shows, and we're lucky to have him here with us today. So Bhante, without much ado, I would like to invite you to start the Dhamma sharing.
Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Venerable Mahasangha, friends in Dhamma, today I like to thank Venerable Mahanayaka Thero of Malaysia, Kesri Dhammaratana Thera, and Venerable Vinita Thera for inviting me for the Dhamma sermon. And also, I'd like to say my thanks to Mr. Tilak Leslie, who has always contacted me and who has given all the description regarding this Dhamma sermon. And also the Buddhist Mahavihara Sasanabhivrudhi Vardhana Society is also should be thanked in this occasion. Today, as Mr. Leslie told you, I am going to speak something, the Buddha's idea about Majjhima Patipada. Majjhima Patipada word comes in Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. It is very popular in Buddhist world. This Majjhima Patipada word have been translated into various languages in various ways. Normally, in English, it have been translated into English as middle path. The word middle path is preachers described in several ways. Some are describing middle path as a moderate life of a person. Moderate life or simple life. Someone can lead a simple life, but he will not attain Nibbana since he is in simple life. So, it has its own identical meaning. So, I would like to explain what is really middle path is. Normally, each and every religion has their own salvation, end, or goal. Even in Buddhism, we have a goal. As you know, that goal is Nibbana, emancipation. Get rid of all this samsaric cycle. So how we attain Nibbana? How can we go there? That is the important question. Many, as I said before, understand Buddhism prescribed us the path as middle path, then no need to have luxurious life, and also no need to have the life of like self-mortification, poor life. If one is leading a middle life, he will attain Nibbana. That is totally wrong. Actually, this middle word Buddha have been used in very special idea, in special teaching. In Buddha's period, in India, there were Brahmins, those who believed there is a eternal soul. That is called eternalism, Sastatavada. They believed the life after life, we are going eternally, then we cannot find age. So with Atta Kilamatana Yoga, that means self-mortification, giving suffer to the body, somebody can attain Nibbana, or somebody, Buddha says, Na nagga charyana jatana panka na nasaka thandila saikawa. Rajo jallang upputika padanang sodenti machang avitinda kankang. The stupid, the ignorant, unknowing people are practicing these ascetic practices like self-mortification. That is useless for them and the others. In the other hand, there were some people, those who believed the life is not going to another life. After death, everything finished. They concluded the life is to materialism. But Buddha says life is going after life. It is called Punabhava. So the Uchedavada tradition, they prescribed Kamasupallikanu Yoga. They are believing nihilism. They are belonging to annihilation school. They prescribed Buddhism. They prescribed their practice as Kamasupallikanu Yoga. You know, there are some Indian philosophers like Charvaka. They taught the people, Yavat jivang sukhan jivet rinang krutva gratam pibet. Bhashmi krutasya dehasya punaragamanam krita. Yavat jivang sukhan jivet. Man has to live happily in a luxurious life. Rinang krutva gratam pibet. Even having taken death, he can eat, he can enjoy luxurious life. Bhashmi krutasya dehasya punaragamanam krita. After death, no more life. Then according to their teachings, according to their belief, they thought to have luxurious life, life after life is a myth. That is their belief. So, Buddha came to this world, Buddha becoming Buddhahood, enlightenment in this society. Then he had to reject those two ideas, those two teachings. Then he says, Kamasukallikaну Yoga is base, is vulgar, gammo. It is common, potujaniko. It is ignoble. It is not normal. It's not noble. Anaryo. Anatta Sanghito means unprofitable. So, with these 5 words, hino, gammo, potujaniko, anaryo, anatta sanghito, Buddha rejected their Kamasukallikaну Yoga practice. Why? These people think life have to enjoy. Person have to enjoy without thinking moral, without thinking qualities, without thinking social responsibility. That's why Buddha rejected this. And also he says, with practicing this practice, nobody can attain emancipation. The next idea, as I said, Attakilamatana Yoga, their self-affliction is the practice. They thought taking self-affliction or taking suffer to themselves, they can attain final bliss of emancipation. But Buddha rejected with 3 words their practice. Dukkho, anaryo, anatta sanghito. Dukkho. Dukkho means painful. That practice is useless, painful. Anaryo, ignoble. It is not noble, that is ignoble. And anatta sanghito, unprofitable. With these 3 words, he has rejected this practice of Attakilamatanu Yoga. Those two practices, and there are 2 views. What are those 2 views? Nihilism and eternalism. They are the 2 views. Practices are Kamasukallikaну Yoga and Attakilamatanu Yoga. In English, self-mortification and self-indulgence. Then Buddha rejected those 2 entities. Buddha rejected those 2 practices. Then he prescribed the people to attain Nibbana. This is very important. To gain Nibbana, have to follow middle path. What is actually middle path then? Is it going in between those 2 extremes? No, that is totally wrong. If, according to the Buddha's teaching, we can say, Buddha says, Yo ubhanta mabhinyaya majche mantana limpati. Somebody can not to go these 2 extremes, but if we come in between, that is also becomes anta. Anta means extreme. Then middle is also becoming extreme if we come in between these 2. So what is his explanation about middle path? There are 8 things. Samma ditti, samma sankappa, samma vacha, samma kammanta, samma ajiva, samma vayama, samma sati, samma samadhi. These Pali words have very descriptive knowledge. You know, samma ditti. Samma ditti is translated as right view. What is samma ditti? Mainly, the person have to understand 4 noble truth is the only way to attain Nibbana. You know, dukkha, samudaya, nirodha, magga. there is a unsatisfaction or suffer. There is a cause for suffer. There is a way to get rid of this suffer, and there is a emancipation or calm, quiet place. It is called Nibbana. So, understanding this Four Noble Truth clearly, it is only the path to get rid of this suffering. It is called right view or Sammaditthi. It is one thing. And also Kammasakata Sammaditthi. Kammasakata. The person have to understand whatever I do is become a result to me. Some people in the society, they don't think their actions have result. Then they sometimes make lot of mistakes. Killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, false bearing, and doing all the other wrong activities because they think the karma is not coming after them. But Buddha says, whatever you do has a reaction. Then Kammasakata Sammaditthi means right view about karma. Then the person should have understand this. That is the first thing in Ariya Attangika Magga or middle path. Another thing. Second one. That is called Samma Sankappa. What is Sankappa? Right resolve. That is called Samma Sankappa. Nekkamma Sankappa, Avyapada Sankappa, and Avihinsa Sankappa is included here. Nekkamma Sankappa. What is Nekkamma? Nekkamma is thought of renunciation. Thought of renunciation. Now, this is the time of Corona pandemic. Many have to stay in their home. Many countries have been locked down. Now, some people break the law and go out. Some people cannot stay without meeting their friends. Then they get a lot of difficulties because of their activities. Nekkamma Sankappa is, normally we are used to have pleasure, happiness, friends, enjoyment, and other things. So we have to get rid of those things. We have to abandon those activities. Then only we can get that Nekkamma Sankappa in our practice. That is Nekkamma Sankappa. What is? We have to depart from luxurious things. In Buddha's life, we can find as a bodhisattva, he had his kingship. He had a lovely wife. He had a lovely child. Ramya, Suramya, Subha, the palaces, abandoning all those luxurious things. He went for his research of Nibbana. Then that is also very clear example for Nekkamma. In some Jataka stories, we can find Bodhisattva is going from his kingship, sometime householdership, to other place for finding this emancipation or Nibbana. So that is called Nekkamma Sankappa. Even for a man who is leading a normal life, day-to-day life, or mundane life, he can also practice this Nekkamma Sankappa for his success. Then Avyapada Sankappa. What is Avyapada Sankappa means? That is thought of goodwill. Thought of goodwill. Many like to see others disaster, but if a person has Avyapada Sankappa, he has metta in his mind. He's very good person to the society. He has goodwill. The next one is Avihimsa Sankappa. Avihimsa Sankappa is thoughts of not harming. The harmful activities are not profitable for the person who is doing harmful activities and the person who is gaining harmful activities. So the person who has decided to go in this path, Samma Ditti and Samma Sankappa, these are very important things to cultivate himself. Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa is belonging to Panya category. This is something about Panya. I will explain later after describing this eightfold path, how we classify, how we categorize this eightfold path into Sila, Samadhi and Panya. Third one is right speech. What is right speech? Right speech has 4 limbs. One is abstaining from false speech. Abstaining from false speech. That means Musavada Veramani Sikkhapada. Some people, without any profit, without any reason, sometimes they are using false words, false bearing. So we have to stop. If we are going in middle way, middle path, or if we are practicing Arya Attangika Magga, we have to stop false bearing. The second one in right speech is Parusa Vacha Veramani. Parusa Vacha means harsh or abusive speech. Abstaining from harsh or abusive speech is Parusa Vacha Veramani. Do you like to listen harsh words? Do you like to make your mind painful? We can remember a Jataka story called Nandi Visala Jataka. In that Nandi Visala Jataka, Bodhisattva was a bull. That bull was called, or bull was given some, to drag the carts with harsh words by his manager. So it didn't drag it, but finally he used very good words. The owner used very good, kind words. Then it did 2 times heavy things he dragged. Why? Even animal do not like harsh words. Then not to use harsh words is also very important in Dhamma. Third one, Pisuna Vacha Veramani. Pisuna Vacha is words of disunion. In the society, people, they use a lot of Pisuna Vacha to break down the friendships of the people. Some are opening their mouth to tell Pisuna Vacha. Sometimes they call, don't take this as a disunion word. I am informing you because of the friendship, but we have to understand when they are opening their mouth, they are going to tell us Pisuna Vacha. The Pisuna Vacha is breaking the people breaking the society and breaking the hearts. That is not good. And final bad speech is sampappalapa. That is abstention of tale-bearing. There are some people using useless words, pointless words. They just use the words without any usage, usefulness. They are destroying their time and the time of the others. So, using this tale-bearing or sampappalapa is not good. This is also included into the bad word. Then, if somebody abstaining from these 4 kinds of words, he is practicing Samma Vacha. Samma Vacha has something more, because abstaining from those things, one can stay without telling good things. Then using good, profitable, admirable, and nice, profitable thing is also included into Samma Vacha. Then Buddha says, Miccha Vacham Pahaya, Samma Vacham Bhasaya. Person have to talk correct word or right speech, abstaining from those 4 kinds of Miccha Vacha. Then the 4th one of the path is right conduct. What is called right conduct? Right conduct is Samma Kammanta. That is called Samma Kammanta. So, Panadipata, Adinadana, Kamesu Michachara. The person have to abstaining from killing, abstain from stealing, and abstain from sexual misconduct. This is right conduct. This is in Pali called Samma Kammanta. Some people introduce Samma Kammanta as correct livelihood. No, that is wrong. Samma Kammanta is not Karmanta. Samma Kammanta is called conduct. So, right conduct is Samma Kammanta, that is abstaining from Panadipata. Everybody like to live, nobody like to die. So, killing one's life is rejected by Buddha. And stealing, you like your possession, what you have. Very hardly you find your livelihood. So one should not steal your thing. And also sexual misconduct. Man or woman themselves, they love their spouse. They like to have their private life, very pure private life. So to have bad or misconduct of sexual, that is also rejected by Buddha. It is called right conduct. Then 5th one is right livelihood. That is called Samma Ajiva. What is Samma Ajiva? That is very important. All we are using some kind of business or some job for our livelihood. To have a good and admirable right livelihood, one should consider how I earn my money. There are some people, those who are earning black money, wrong ways. But Buddha says, Samma Ajivena Jivikang Kappeti. The person should earn with Samma Ajiva, correct livelihood. What are the bad livelihood? You know, Sattva Vanijja. Sattva means weapon. arms trafficking. The second one, Satta Vanijja, human trafficking. Satta Vanijja means human trafficking. Satta Vanijja, arms trafficking. Satta Vanijja, human trafficking. Then Visa Vanijja, poison trade. Majja Vanijja, intoxication drugs. Selling intoxication drugs is called Visa Vanijja, Majja Vanijja. So, the person have to abstain from these kind of wrong activities. Their livelihood should be very correct and harmless way. This is called right livelihood. Sixth one is right effort. This is also very important. Right effort. What is right effort? We have done a lot of efforts to do this and that, to buy a house, to buy a car, to find a job. That is also effort. To get a degree, that is also effort. But this effort is not about that. Buddha have given 4 things of the right effort. The first effort is Anupannanam akusalanam dhammanam anuppadaya. Actually, the meaning of that, prevent the arising of evil or unwholesome thoughts in that have not yet arisen. There are inside you, including everybody, myself, or some good and bad activities. So we have to find what are the good activities and what are the bad activities do I have. First of all, take those things and help the good activities, good thoughts to cultivate, to improve, and bad thoughts to go out, to leave you. Then Anupannanam akusalanam dhammanam anuppadaya means prevent the arising of evil or unwholesome thoughts that have not yet arisen. That is most important thing. The second one is uppannanam akusalanam dhammanam pahanaya. Sometimes already you have some evil things with you. So you have to banish those evil. Unwholesome thoughts, you have to banish what you already have within you. That is also very important. Then third one, it is also very important, Anupannanam kusalanam dhammanam uppadaya. It is your life is just like a, flower garden. Sometimes in your flower garden, you have a lot of nice, beautiful flowers. Then you have to protect them. And also you have to bring very nice, beautiful flowers and plant in your flower garden. Then only it becomes very nice. Likewise, in your life, sometimes you don't have good qualities. Some of good qualities. You have good qualities. We know that. But the new good qualities you have to cultivate in your life. That is also very important. The last one is uppannanam kusalanam dhammanam bhiyo bhavaya. You have to develop wholesome thoughts that you already have in you, within you. Then you have to improve those qualities. That is the sixth thing. Seventh one is right mindfulness. Right mindfulness is samma sati. Gate, thite, nisinne, sutte, jagarite, bhasite, tunni bhave, sampajanikari hoti. While you are going, while you are staying, sitting, eating, even when you are in the toilet, sampajanakari hoti, you should pay your attention what you are doing. Some people don't have sampajanakari. That's why they make accidents. Sometimes they have a lot of troubles because of their asampajana. So you should have right mindfulness. Nowadays, it is very popular in the world, mindfulness practice. Buddha says one should have mindfulness when he is doing everything. Last one is right concentration. That is called samma samadhi. Right concentration. What is right concentration? You know, our mind is pointlessness. Our mind has pointlessness. So we have to make our mind into point. It is going here and there. It is searching one after another. So making one's mind in one point is very important. That is called samma samadhi. So samma ditti, samma sankappa, these two are related to panya, wisdom. Samma vacha, samma kammanta, samma ajiva are related to sila, morality. Samma vayama, samma sati, samma samadhi, these three are related to samadhi, concentration. Then sila, samadhi and panya is the middle path in Buddhism. Somebody can say this middle path, but the Majjhima word has several meanings in Buddhism. Professor K.N. Jayatilaka used the word Majjhima as central. He has translated Majjhima Desana. Majjhima Desana is Paticca Samuppada, dependent origination. He has translated Majjhima Desana as central teaching of Buddhism. That is central teaching, not middle teaching. So if the Buddha's teaching is central teaching, why we call his practice is middle path? It is also the central path. Word Majjhima has the meaning of central. Then I propose you, but you think about this, I propose you, this should be central path of emancipation or Nibbana is called Majjhima Patipada. So the person who practices this Majjhima Patipada, he is capable to get rid of this samsara and he can obtain emancipation, he can obtain Nibbana after his practice. Then it is not be away from luxurious life or not be away from painful life. Some people in the world, they don't like to practice Buddhism because they think they have to get rid of those luxurious life. Everybody can practice Buddhism, whether he is a rich person or poor person, whether he is a king or beggar. Then this practice is, the practice of the Buddha is Sila, Samadhi and Panya. If a king can have Sila, Samadhi, Panya, Sila means morality, concentration and wisdom, he can also attain Nibbana. Then I ask you to think, I invite you to think what is Majjhima Patipada according to this way. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bhante. That was a very interesting sermon on the middle path. At the moment, there are no questions being posed to us from the audience. But I personally would like you to, if you could help me, you were talking about Nekkhamma, and there was an example you gave that people who don't want to listen to, staying at home during the COVID-19 pandemic, they would like to go out. Could you just elaborate a little bit on that part, Bhante?
Yeah, actually, we are used to have always luxury life. We like to go to the beach. We like to go to the pub. We like to enjoy with our friends, playground. So we are attached to those things. So these days we must be able to nekama or detach from those activities. Then only we can prevent from this coronavirus, corona pandemic. Then that is also somewhat nekama. That's why.
Okay, well, thank you. I think it kind of explains to me. I'm trying to understand the concept a little bit. We have got 2 questions now. Let me just show it on the screen.
Yes. How bad is the karmic effect if we harm, kill insects like ants, mosquitoes? Very difficult to avoid such unwholesome actions. Kindly advise. Yes. Actually, whether it is a ant or a small creature or big creature, they have their life and they love their life, and stealing their life or taking their life is bad. We have to practice Buddhism with understanding. So if you make such kind of evil, such kind of bad activity, then karma also follows you. Then we should do those things with awareness. Normally, you are killing ants because you do not wash your cup or plate after using. Then you keep it for some time, and then ants come there, and you wash the cup and put it into the sink. Why? You are not thinking about that. Then if you keep your kitchen clean, the house clean, then you will not kill them. And also cockroaches and other insects, they are coming to your home because of uncleanliness. Mosquitoes also, we are giving them to breed in around our homes, because we are putting empty cups, tires, or we are not cleaning the gutters. That's why they are coming. So we have to think not to kill. After that, after killing, we should not find how to get rid of those sins. Not to do things is very important. Thank you. How does it affect what we think in mind if we do wholesome or unwholesome action through mind? Yes. Yes. Actually, wholesome and unwholesome, we can find this way. Buddha says, somebody can understand it is wholesome. It is not harm to himself. It is not harm to others. That is good. If something is harmful to him and the others, that is bad. Then punya, papa, kusala, akusala. To understand wholesome and unwholesome things, we have to think the results of that. Once Buddha says, when you are doing something, don't do it. After some time, if you get the results with tears, with the results unhappiness, then natang kammang katang sadhu yang katva anutappati. If you become sad when you are getting the results of it, then don't do it. Then whatever you are doing, that is not the problem, but the results, whatever you are taking, that is the problem. So before doing something, think about the results. Sometimes one can say it is very happy activity, fun activity is taking liquor. That time he can say it is that. Even though after drinking, after some period of drinking, he will suffer. Then before doing something, think what is the results. Then only you can think what is wholesome and unwholesome.
Thank you, Bante, for answering those 3 questions that we had. I think we've come to the end of today's program. We would like to take this opportunity to thank you for your time. I know you're a very busy person in Sri Lanka and sparing at least an hour with us this evening. We have also very good comments on Facebook, which you can probably see later. Bante,
Yes.
before we end, could we then now transfer the merits to the devas and also to our departed beings?
Yes. First of all, we will transfer merit to the devas. Akasatta ja bummatta devanaga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu loka sasanang chirang rakhantu desanang chirang rakhantu twang sada. And also we have to transfer the merit to the departed beings. All of your departed beings get this merit and they be happy in their lives and get final bliss of nibbana. And also I have to praise and I have to say few words about Venerable our Nayakatera Sri Dhammaratana Nayakatera. He is actually pride of our Pirivena. When I was very small monk, our teacher also told you also should become like Venerable Dhammaratana Thera. He says he is a student of Sunetra Mahadevi Pirivana. Nowadays he's doing a lot for the mankind while residing in Malaysia. Then I wish him good health and also to have good life, a long life. And also Mr. Tilak and Venerable Vinita and other my colleagues of Dhamma and those who listen to this Dhamma sermon, all be well and happy. Then I wish you all good life, longevity, and good health and happiness. Sabbe satta bhavantu sukhitatta.